still a cat? Tell me, Mario. Dime la verdad.
Alright. We did have the light kind of shut off on us.
Oh, it did?
I put it right back up, so you should be... I'll keep it up here so you don't have to reshare it.
Oh, yeah.
It is recording it, so there's going to be editing to the video. But
Editing.
So, let me see what I can do here. I'm going to edit this out.
Oh, okay. You just missed the whole ass conversation.
Yeah, it was quite interesting.
It was funny.
It was funny.
It's on now? I'm trying to find the actual link to it, so I can't find it.
Memories at the corner of my eye. Oh, he's like showing you.
There we go. Okay, yeah, I'm going to put it up right now.
Are we live?
Yeah. Ria, let's try to keep this this camera angle. Just hold it on this one. I'm really worried that it's gonna cut off again.
Yeah.
So we don't have it cut off. Let's keep it in the same camera angle, and as soon as we're done with this episode, I'll try to do a couple tests through my Twitch account, man, to see if it shuts off or something. All right, we'll keep it up like that. Okay, there we go. All right, sorry about that, guys. You guys missed the good chunk of the Taco Gate explanation, so make sure you guys follow us on iTunes, find us on Spotify to catch that first part of the conversation. Actually, that's a good thing. That could be a little something extra. So I am very sorry about that, guys, that we are still having issues with our broadcasting software. But we are back now. You guys will get the full deets on the actual audio podcast. But the last thing we actually talked about was the explanation of Taco Gate, and that was somebody's breaking point, right?
Boiling point.
So now let's trigger the fuck out of these people again, all right? Let's continue to give these people our opinion on food. Now, Lupe, thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, thank you for coming. Now, you told me that you are extremely well traveled. So what are some of the places you've traveled to before?
Oh, well, interesting story. I guess I started the Wanderlust in college. My older sister is the one who kind of triggered that. So I've been to Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Monaco, is it Andorra, which is between Spain and France. It's a little country. It's like Basque country. It's super weird out there, but it's great. It's just super weird. Was it south of France, Paris eventually, 2 years ago. Let me see, a bunch of places in Spain even before Cyndy and I went. A bunch of places there, even nude beaches in Spain.
Nude beaches in Spain?
Yeah.
I missed out on that one.
I'm sorry, but yeah, those are
I have body issues.
I've gone, and I indulged. I just kept my underwear on because I was like, I can't be fully nude. I was like, I'll just get a tan. Everyone's so comfortable there. Where else? Where else? I've gone to Italy. I've gone to Amsterdam. Out of a lot of the places, Amsterdam's one of my favorite places. Here, I've gone to Louisiana, San Diego, San Fran, New York, Denver multiple times, Vegas multiple times, Texas or Texas, to cross the border to go to my little hometown Mexico. So yeah, just
what part of Mexico is your family from?
They're from the northern part of Coahuila.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see, Mexico's got a whole bunch of weird ass names to their cities. Yeah. Half of them aren't even pronounceable. The city that I was born is called Nezahualcóyotl. and even they have to shorten it up to Neza, which is basically in Mexico City. How do they even do their zoning?
I'm actually going there in November to Mexico City. I'm going to be going for a week. It's my first time, actually. And I'm really excited because I watched the Taco Chronicles. So
I haven't watched that, and I wanted to.
You should after that whole thing, that whole debacle of everything. You should.
I would have come back like extra passionate about tacos. Like, listen.
So what was one of the first things that you noticed when last time you finished going to Mexico and visited? What was some of the food that you noticed? Because I always hear that the meat is not the. It doesn't taste the. It's the same meat, but it doesn't taste the same.
Everything, all the food's different. And I always tell everyone that the way that it's like cultured, cultured and harvested, so different from American food. Like for even instance, like the eggs, our eggs here in the in the U.S. they're refrigerated. They're not there. You just go to the market. They're just all lined like stacked up, and you just get a plastic bag and put your eggs in there. They're not in carts. I mean, they're in carts there for the public to like put in a bag, but you don't take like cartons, like here in the U.S. So it's super different. I mean, when when I cook back home, because we have a house there, it's like a family house, and like it's open to just the whole family. It's when I go home and cook, everything just tastes amazing. I mean, just even the most simplest thing, just making an omelet, it just blows your mind how good it tastes. Versus here, it's so fresh, it's so natural.
Everything's direct, like your eggs were just like every morning.
Yeah, like you probably know who. Like, it's probably like the person next door, and it's a little town. It's a little mining town. So I mean, everyone knows each other. Everyone says hi. I mean, the whole environment is so different versus here. Everyone is a lot, in Mexico, and like if you're especially from a small town, everyone's a little bit more humble. They care about you, like, oh, how's it going? What are you up to? Like, oh, you know what? We're having a gathering last minute. Come by. And it's not like that here. It really isn't in the U.S.
Well, it's not necessarily the U.S. It's necessarily the city we live in.
You have a good point.
Yeah, Illinois, we're assholes.
No, that's true.
We're assholes.
We tell that to everyone we travel with. We're like, Chicago or Illinois, jerks. We said that we're assholes. In Seattle, we told everyone that.
Yeah. It's the city we actually live in. There's a lot of cities that I visited too that, I love them. They're so respectful. Everything's chill. And like you said, very humble. A lot more humble. And then you come back down here and it's like fuck boy central and shit,
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you though. I would never go back to Mexico.
No?
No, it's one of the most controversial topics we ever talk within my family.
Really?
Yeah,
like,
my family.
Even to visit?
I would not go back to visit. No.
Oh, wow.
No?
I wouldn't go visit. I wouldn't go travel. None of that. No. I've been here my whole life. I find no reason to go back. And the reason, I mean, you're not an immigrant, right?
No. The thing is, I was born here, but I grew up, a big chunk of my childhood was in Mexico with my grandma at the house that we built.
Right.
So, like, a big part of me is very close to that. And when I go back, I feel at peace. It's a part of my childhood. It's a memory.
Yeah, but so you don't have anything that's scarring from that.
No,
you were there, like, under good circumstances, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it's different when you're an immigrant. Like, you were born here, right?
Yeah.
So you guys have a different point of view on Mexico. And I've noticed that. I've told my dad that a lot, is that a lot of Hispanics that were actually born in the U.S. have a lot more, they have a lot more pride towards Mexico. You know what I'm saying? They're very happy. People who are in my situation, I don't feel the same way. I have a different outlook on it. I came, into the we left Mexico from poverty to come to the U.S. And, it's not easy, your first, years here in the U.S. No. And for some people, it never gets better. And I've seen that, Yeah. And I feel for people like that. Luckily, my mom and dad always put, like, their grind into it.
Yeah.
And, but nah, man, I don't feel like that. And trust me, the only thing that would ever drag me to go to Mexico would be the food. But I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that. And my family doesn't like that I feel this way. There absolutely nobody in my family agrees with me, which is fine, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody's going to disagree at some point.
Yeah.
But it's like I've always told people. I see Mexico as the country who couldn't feed my family. We came here for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Mexico couldn't feed my family. The United States did, right? So all my patriotism that I have is for the United States. All my love is for the United States because the United States gave me a home, gave me opportunity, gave me a job. It gave my parents, a great life, to be able to provide for us something Mexico couldn't do, And I feel that, when you're born here and you have the, the option to go and visit and just, it's different than when you're like, I'm fucked. This is the only life I know.
Yeah.
You know, and I have no opportunity out here. Like some people out there like make like what, like $50 a week?
Yeah.
And that's decent apparently.
Yeah, that is decent over there.
Yeah, and that's fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Like you could literally send $50 to Mexico and like literally hold down a family member.
That's what we do.
You know, and it's not right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, that goes into completely different, you know, politics and all that, but I wouldn't go back. And food would probably be the only thing that teases me to ever, like, even step foot there. But other than that, I have a different outlook on that.
Yeah.
Almost scary. It's almost scary to me, even. Like, I see it as a scary place, you know? Because when you grow up an immigrant, you're always being told, don't tell nobody too much info because you'll get sent back. And if you get sent back, it's terrible out there. So this is the mindset I grew up with. Not like, hey, you want to go for the summer to go see your uncles and, you know, have fun? I don't have that outlook. I have a very fearful, you know, jaded look almost, you know, onto what it really is. And I don't know, man. I would never go back. I would not go back, man. I would go to Italy. I would go to Spain. I really would love to go visit Japan, you know. You know, Japanese culture. Definitely. Like, I'm there. And I'm all for travel, but I don't know, man.
I mean, I agree with you. I'm actually thinking, well, Cyndy knows I'm really into writing. I love to write. And there's actually, for the longest, I've been wanting to write a book regarding this. You know, because you're native, she's first gen, I'm second gen, you know, I'm second generation. And so we all, as like a Latino, or, you know, or Latinx, I don't know how you guys want to go into that, but everyone has their own perspective. And see, when that, you know, that person made that comment on the comments about the whole taco thing, and she said bougie, that upsetted me because, you know, even to this day, even currently, I get, you know, everyone's like, oh, you're a coconut, you're bougie, you know, like, you know, you have you're different, you know, and I get this a lot even from my friends that are either native or first generation, because I'm second. So it's like it's this whole different thing too, and it's like a whole different view of everything.
I don't think it's fair to call you bougie or whatever, because at the end of the day, like, you did struggle growing up. You did struggle growing up, and you know, you lived in a single parent household, and you know, I think that's why we were friends so quickly in the third grade. Like, we clicked in the third grade so fast. And she was new. She had she was brand new in third grade, and like, I mean, we went to a private Catholic school that cost money,
a lot of money.
And
especially here in Chicago, right?
Yeah, and my mom had three girls, single parent.
All went to private Catholic school.
She had to do it on her own. Yeah. So it wasn't easy. Like, I basically never saw my mom. My grandma took care of me.
Yeah. So
there you go. Yeah.
So the point is, I'm trying to make is, you worked hella hard. Your mom worked hella hard for what you have, and you worked hella hard for what you have. So like, if you want to flex a little bit. Who cares?
Yeah.
But you worked for what you have.
But I'm just saying, like, everyone has a different perspective, like, about how you associate you being in the U.S. or like Mexican American, or like, you know, or like vice versa, or you know, patriotism to a certain country, like of origin. Do you see what I mean? It is different. I agree with you. Yeah,
and you know what? And even like looking at it from a different angle, I noticed that I have more patriotism for America than some Americans do. So see how it works both ways.
It does work.
Because like, I'll see some of my American friends who are like, they're talking mad shit about America, and I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Like, you have no idea how good you have it.
Exactly.
You have no idea how just being born on this dirt, you know, on this sanctioned fucking dirt on this planet, that gives you that fucking number, that social security number, how much different your life is. Yeah. That fucking number changes your life, man.
Yeah.
It changes your life. And
you're made.
And your perspective on it, you know? And I don't have that. And I have more respect, where it's like, dude, you don't know how good you have it, man. You got to respect this country, you know? Because this is America.
My mom always taught me that.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. I have so much respect for it, man. And it's like, there are things where, you know, I've said countless times, you know, I do totally agree with, you know, with a lot more stuff that has to do with protecting this country. You know what I'm saying? But I do disagree with the ways that things are being done, you know, about this country right now. It's fucking cruel, man. And it's being done against my people, you know?
Yeah.
And these people don't know that there's people like me here in this country who fucking adore this country, probably more than some. You know, some of them at least. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man. It's fucked up, man.
It is fucked
It's
up.
extremely fucked up.
Yeah.
But when you do get to travel, you realize these kind of things, you know?
We do.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, and that's one of the best things that I think people could share, you know? No matter how racist somebody is, food is always going to trump over everything, right? Because you can have somebody who's talking about, you know, build the wall, and on the weekend is, you know, having tacos and shit, like
yeah, that's true.
right?
It's true.
So despite everything, right, food always wins, right?
Food wins.
Food wins, man. And that's one of the things that, like, you know, we could sit here for hours, right, and talk, right? Like, it's my first time meeting you, Lupe, you know. Nice to meet you. Everything's great, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I will never be able to get to know you, and this is one of my opinions, right? I will never be able to truly get to know you until you and I sit down and eat together.
Oh, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? And I realize, and that's one of the cool things that me and my brothers always did. Whenever we hired somebody new to travel with us and, you know, go out of state and work or whatever, that was one of, like, the unspoken tests, right?
You shared the plate.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to go eat at this spot. Oh, what do they serve there? Oh, they serve this, and that. And you see their face initially, like, and you kind of go, you know, gauging them, like, oh, okay. And when you act like a buffet,
Yeah.
you see what they eat. You're like,
buffets,
okay,
dude.
he's grabbing this, he's grabbing that. Oh, you want to try some of this? Nah, man, I don't like this because of this. And you start noticing if they're a picky eater or an adventurous eater. You can tell a lot about people like that. And that's one of the best things about food, is that not only does it bring people together, but it lets you get to know the person right next to you the moment you break bread together.
No, I agree with you 100%. When you share that plate, when you break bread, it's just like, it's like all hands on deck. Like, you're gonna just, it's open up like a whole new adventure, a whole new relationship, a whole new world kind of thing.
Right. And it's like I had told this to one of my friends years ago, man. I told him the exact same thing. And he's like, but what if you sit down with somebody and you both love, like, for example, garlic bread, you know, or you know, cheese sticks, right? You sit down, oh, we both love cheese sticks. He's like, you got to know nothing, you both like it. Nah, you can still sit down and eat with somebody and you notice, like, one cheese stick left. Is he going to grab it? You take it. You get to know things, like, with every little mannerism like that, like how generous that person is, you know, how reserved they are by how they watch how they eat. You know, some people, you know, they'll take a bite and they'll go...
What?
You know,
Stop.
and then there's people who will, like, eat, and it's like, I don't care, I'm in my fucking zone. Oh, you're gonna see me chomp like a dinosaur, and fuck you, you know. So
I'm 50-50, Cyndy. Come on.
And you know
Depends
what?
on the alcohol.
And there's nothing wrong with whatever way you go about it. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that you get to know somebody the best when you break bread together.
It's true.
And it's like, it's one of the best things to do, right? But the best thing to do is go break bread with somebody across state lines, and which I extremely enjoy. But you've been to France, you've been to Spain, you've been to all over the world. How was it for you in comparison from breaking bread with, like, somebody here in Cincinnati or in, you know, Denver, you know, in comparison to somebody in Spain?
I gotta say, like, well, I think my real big first experience was, like, in France. So people knew we were visiting, we were bar hopping. And granted, it wasn't food, it was drinks. But I gotta say, I don't care what people say about the French. They were so awesome, to the point where they were, like, lifting up my husband and me. Like, they're like, yeah, like we actually have a video of it. They were like, they bought us shots. They were like, come on. They were like making us, like, just chill with them. And we're rowdy, we're singing. I was like, these people know how to party. And we were talking, and it's great, because it's crazy, because even before then we were talking about our governments, we were talking about, like, our politics and everything, you know, and where we're from and everything. And even then, like, they were just, like, wanting to get to know us, and, like, vice versa, and we were just going on and on. I mean, it was great. And then, like, it just continued that whole night. And then I don't even know how we got back to our hotel room. in France.
That's one hell of a night.
It was
I
like
have to take care of her every time we
yeah.
travel.
Well, this was
Seriously.
but this was crazy because I woke up the next day and told my husband, I'm like, I don't even know how we got home, but I'm so happy we got home.
Right?
He was like, I don't know how, like, why was there fire on the shot glasses? I'm like, I don't know.
You
like,
drank them.
like there was like like flames like on the shot glasses. We were just going nuts.
So out of all the places you've been to, like, I mean, clearly it has to be France. I mean, that's the first place you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
So that's your favorite place that you've been to break bread with somebody, right?
I would say yes, and then second would be Spain.
Spain.
But Spain is, I think,
Spain
is
is
a little bit
made that way.
Yeah, Spain is made that way. They create these plates, these tapas,
Right.
for you can share and
Yeah.
see.
The
when-
whole point is to share.
share.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The whole point is to share, and they don't take they take their time to eat. They are not in a rush, or
For
they
real.
want to enjoy their meal.
Right.
They
Yeah.
want to enjoy every little bite, every sip of their beverage,
Mm-hmm.
and they appreciate that togetherness
Yeah.
at the table, and conversation.
Right.
That it's not really like that, and
Yeah.
it's, I think, a dying thing too
Mhm.
in the U.S. But a lot of people don't eat at
No,
the table. I don't see a lot of people eat at the table.
Yeah, I don't, no, not at all, man, right? You're right
No.
on that one, man. People do not eat together a lot like that. I mean, I try to make that a thing, especially with my family.
Yeah.
Like, you have to eat together, right? But with how busy everybody's schedule is, I mean, kids are busy as hell nowadays.
Yeah,
You know,
sports.
like
Yeah.
high school kids nowadays are like hella busy, man. I don't think kids back in the 70s were as busy as what kids are now today. There's a lot more expected of them. There's it's a lot harder to get by, period.
Yeah.
You know, and but yeah, man, people do not eat together as much as they used to, and or as much as they should. You know, it is one way to build, human connection. That's why there's so many people that are fucking robots nowadays, man.
Yeah.
Robots.
Agreed.
We don't eat together. We don't connect together.
Even ordering, you have to order. Even downtown, they just have like those. And even in Europe, they had them too. But because of the whole language barrier, I don't know. I mean, I guess they have it here too for people that travel. But even now, you have to order through like a prompt sometimes.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. There's like no more human fucking connection, man.
It's crazy. Yeah, it is crazy. It like blows my mind.
And she's all about that. Like, she'll tell someone her whole life story, and I'm just like, we don't know this person.
Oh yeah, when we travel, like we were on the train to Barcelona, and I don't even know.
You guys were together?
Yeah. This was
Okay.
another time. This
This
was
is
like
another
this is
time.
during my bachelorette
This is
party.
we're coming up on a year now.
Yeah.
We were in Spain.
Oh,
yeah.
no shit.
So and it's crazy the story about us getting there, but basically
Jesus.
we're on the train, and it's about 2.5
3 hours.
3 hours to get there, and it's a long train ride. So I'm just like we
We were
started talking to
crazy
people.
for even going. Like, we were in Madrid, and she's like, "Let's do a day trip in Barcelona." I'm like,
Fuck
what
it, right?
The fuck?
I mean-
I'm crazy.
That was
I
her.
said
When in
She
Spain.
No,
Yeah.
she tried to do that in Seattle. Let's do a day trip in Vancouver, and I was like, "You nuts!"
I told her to bring her passport just in case. I brought
did.
mine. I was like, let's see if we get crazy.
Did not happen.
Right. You know
No.
what? That's my kind of fucking party gal right there.
That's
That's the kind of
her.
shit I like. That's the kind of
I
shit
And
I
told
I
her
was
like.
be
like,
prepared.
let's think about this for a minute.
I'm
But
just
yeah.
like, you know what? Like YOLO. Even when
Yeah.
anytime we hang out, and I'm just like, we're like, she's iffy about something. I'm like, you know what? YOLO.
You know what?
YOLO.
You know what? But on some real shit, like just a quick little kind of, I'm gonna skim over something a little bit personal. I won't get too deep into it.
Okay.
But how often have you seen her sad? Like honestly, like is it pretty?
Sad?
Yeah, like you don't have to give me an exact number, but
Like sad.
yeah. Do you often see her sad?
I mean, I would say yes, but like it's more of a daily like
Anxiety.
stress, anxiety thing. There is actually like anxiety issues that we have, so like we
Oh,
deal
yeah.
with
Big
it together.
time.
We deal with it together. She'll text me at like 3 a.m. She's like, "I'm not okay," and I'm like, "Okay, what's wrong? Let's talk to
And
me."
be honest with me, the way like your adventurousness, is that a way to almost kind of like cope with like the fear, is by facing the fear head on, by
Yes.
doing stuff outside of your comfort
Oh,
zone?
That's
big,
her,
big
100.
time.
Yeah.
She tells me to do
That's
that.
how I am, dude.
I tell her to, like even like the first time, like this was like already years ago.
Uh-huh.
I was in New York, and she was going through a hard time, and I was like, you know what? Get a plane ticket. I have some space in my hotel. Just come to New York.
Let me-
And she thought
yeah.
I was nuts, and I was like, here, I found everything. Just go.
Teacher.
Just a teacher.
Teacher.
Yeah.
So, like, I was going through a breakup, actually. I had just gotten dumped by someone who sucks. And I was really heartbroken because I'm not someone who commits to people like that. And I was committed. And so I called her, and I was like, well, I went to go pick up my shit at his house today. And she's like, dude, so I'm going to Governor's Ball next weekend? I'm like, yeah, I know. You told me months ago. She's like, go. Come with me. I'm like, you're nuts. She's like, Cyndy, come with me. And I'm like, no. And she knows I love New York. Like, that's the city I've always wanted to see. That's a city that I was like, I want to live there when I'm older. You know, maybe retire there. I don't fucking know. I love New York. And she was like, Cyndy, you've always wanted to go there. Why wouldn't you go? She's like, Cyndy, go. And I'm like, you know what? And, like, it, like, dawned on me. And I was just like,
a plane ticket.
I was like, fuck this breakup. Fuck these feelings. Fuck this lamp. And I was
Leslie feels the exact same way about it.
But I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I was like, I'm not going to sit home and cry about it. I'm going to do something that I've always talked about wanting to do and never did. And I was like, you know what? I am off Friday and Saturday from work. And she's like, dude. But she says to me all the time, dude.
Go.
She came over that night, and I went down. My parents knew that I was going through it. And then I was like, yo, so Lupe wants me to go to New York with her next weekend. Is that cool? Because I was like, what, 23?
And we were like, yes, we were like in our early 20s.
Yeah, they were like, what?
Hang on, but you were asking your parents?
Well, yeah, because like I mean Mexican household, like that shit don't fly no more. I'll tell you that. But like,
shit, that's weird to me.
It was more. It wasn't that I was asking permission. It was more of like, hey, I've never traveled alone before.
Hang on, how old are you?
Me, I'm 28.
You're 28. Okay,
Yeah.
so you are around my age. Okay.
Yeah, but like it was more of like a respect thing. Like, hey, I've never traveled alone before. I'm just like telling you, I've decided to go to New York.
Mm-hmm.
You cool with that? And my parents were like, they were like blown away. My dad specifically, because he's like, you literally this morning just went and picked up your shit from Shitfuck's house, like, and now you're going to New York. He's like, what did he say? He I don't remember what he said, but he pretty much was like, she's got balls, like, and
Tienes huevos.
then that's what he fucking said. Tiene pinche huevo, and I was like, and it's because of her. It's because honestly, I probably would have just stayed home and wallowed. And instead, I packed my shit. I went to New York for 2 days. I came back Sunday morning, and I went to work that day, 3 p.m.
Low key, that's awesome,
because of her. And, like, everything I do is in service of that. But also, sometimes she be fucking crazy.
Even for Spain, even for my bachelorette, I didn't even, it was like 15 minutes. I'm like, yo, we're going to Spain. I got our tickets, everything. She was like, what?
We were trying to figure out her bachelorette party, and she was trying to get a group of people to travel with.
To go to, like, Mexico
but,
or
like,
something.
everyone had conflicting schedules or financial situations, and she got stressed out.
I did.
Her sisters are like, girl, what's going on? You planning this or not? And I was like, it's not on me. I was like, I know you want me to plan it, but it's her decision.
Right.
Like, it's what she wants to do. The minute she makes up her mind, I will, like, go full force and do whatever she wants. And then she's upset. She's, like, crying. She's like, forget it. Let's just do something here. And I was like, shut up.
She talked to me, and she was like, Lupe, what do you want? And I'm like, I want to go to Spain, and I just want to hang out with my 2 best friends. And she's like, then do that. I'm like, okay, then we're going to fucking do that.
Seriously,
and I bought the tickets y todo right there. And I was like, we're going. And she was, and I posted on Facebook, and then her mom goes to her, and she's like, so you're going to Spain? And she's like, I guess.
No, it's because, like, I was like, who do you want? Who do you want more than anything in the world? Who is most important to you to be at this bachelorette party / trip? And she said you and Molly, because we're her bridesmaids.
And Molly's already
Molly lives
studying.
in Spain.
She was studying or teaching in Spain.
Yeah.
Damn, just hearing this right now just kind of made me feel like I kind of got into. I was like, oh shit, we're going to Spain. Let's ride. Like I'm just like I'm getting anxiety. I'm just like, let's go, dude. I swear.
Because then I said, and then she's like, you and Molly. I said, well, shit, that'd be cool if we can go to Spain. And she's like, are you for real? Would you go? Would you really go?
And I was like,
be honest though. People like us that are like that, You know, because I would say that I'm the exact same way when it comes down to doing crazy shit like that and just like breaking past the comfort zone. But we need people like Cyndy in our lives to influence, man.
Yeah.
You always need somebody to tag along with you. It's
Yes,
like,
100.
you can't ever do shit by yourself. I mean, I have, don't get me wrong, some of the things are okay to do alone, but majority of the time it's like, who the fuck am I going to influence?
Who's your buddy? Who's your one buddy?
I am literally
Who
that
am I
person.
doing
She's like,
trouble with?
even in Seattle, I'm like, man, I want to go to Seattle. And she's like, oh, I've been wanting to too. Fuck, let's
Yeah,
go.
I'd literally,
Let's go.
I'd been talking about Seattle
Let's go
ever
to
since I
Seattle.
came back from Portland, and that was 4 years ago, my dude. I was like, I want to go to Seattle. I need to see Seattle. I want to see Seattle my whole life.
Yeah.
And a bunch of my friends were like, yeah, cool, let's go here. Let's go this day, or let's go this time. And it's like, this time works best for me. And like, at the end of the day, like, it didn't work out with anyone else. And she's like, oh, let's go 4th of July weekend. I'm like, you're nuts. And she's like, it's the only time I can go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, I booked it. I was like,
It
"Alright,
was
guess we're
worth it.
It was worth it.
100%.
I won't take it back for
Never.
anything. None of our trips.
Never.
Any of our trips, I won't ever take back. So.
Who's do you guys know Jesus
Oh my god.
Bolestero?
That's my
her
husband.
Okay, your husband said, she took the shoes off. That means
No,
trouble.
No,
That means
they're
trouble.
clean socks. Hey, babe, I just washed these this morning. God.
Maybe he's talking about me because I took off my socks.
Oh,
I took off my
those
shoes.
shoes.
Oh, okay,
Whose
okay.
shoes are you talking about?
Jesus
Or
bought me.
socks?
He gave me these.
Oh,
Jordans.
nice.
I don't buy Jordans. so
My
he gave me Jordans.
my husband's a huge sneakerhead. He has a bunch of Yeezys and Nikes.
He gave
Oh,
me a
nice.
pair of
Good
Yeezys
shit.
too.
Oh, nice,
I was
nice.
like-
Which ones?
I don't know. They're black. I don't know.
Black Yeezys.
I did not ask. He just said, "Hey, these don't fit, Lupe. You want them?" I'm like, "These are Yeezys." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You sure? You want money? What do you want for
What
these?"
you want for them? Is this a trick?
He's like, "Just
No, he's just a generous
Nice,
person.
right, no,
Dude,
yeah.
That's the thing about them too. They're very generous people."
No, that's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
really cool, dude. But you're very energetic, man. You're very energetic.
A little too much, maybe. That's
Nah,
why
nah.
she was like, "Oh my god, girl, I'm so scared when you guys
I didn't
come
say I
up
was
here."
scared. I
No,
didn't say I was scared.
I'm a little
I just
too much.
said I hope George can handle us because
Oh no, dude, I've toned my shit down. Go listen to episode like 3, and then come back here, and you're gonna be like, "Is this the same guy?"
You're
I
right. You're
I
right,
literally,
you're
I
right.
literally toned my shit down. Like even with like the cussing on the show, I cut it down. I kept getting told like,
swear a
"You're
lot.
doing it too much," and I'm like,
I
"Yeah,
do.
you
I
think?"
swear a lot. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, man. You're good. Be you, man. No, it's good to be energetic, man. It's really good, dude. It really is, man. Because in a way, it's your form of therapy. Because that's the same way I do it, man. I always push myself to do something outside of my comfort zone. I've always been like that. And it's literally about. It's kind of like how my friend Anthony. He's been on the show before. It's like he said. It's like fear is like literally one of the moment you get rid of fear, you could basically do anything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, is that everybody is faced with a new fear every day. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
moment you realize, like, you know what, there's no way around this other than head on. Even by doing something like that, just like fucking, I'm gonna go do this. You deal with stuff. It's therapy, man.
But she knows that's me. Like once
That
I
is
say,
her.
but once I say I'm gonna do something,
She does
She
it.
knows I do it, and that's
She
like,
does
and I
it.
think everyone
I gotta
knows
be
that.
careful
And it
sometimes.
scares them. It scares them. They're like, dang, she's gonna freaking do it.
For real.
She's really
For
gonna
real.
do it.
Yeah, because be honest, you've met a lot of people, right? Who like,
Oh,
you're like, oh, well, one day we should all take a trip down, blah blah blah, and then like, but a lot of people bullshit.
Yes,
and I'm always the
yes.
people in the group on some. When? Let's do this.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Yes,
down.
yes.
I'm looking at flights
Flight.
already.
Let's
Oh,
go.
oh, we can
Oh,
do-
yeah, that's us.
Airbnb.
Yeah.
That's us right
That's
there.
us.
Yeah.
Groupon.
But
Look it up.
not everybody's like that, man.
Yeah.
Like people like talk all kinds of shit, and the moment the liquor wears off, or the moment that excitement wears off, they're
100.
like,
Yes.
secondhand, I might have something coming up. It's like, dude, fuck you.
My husband's the same way. He
See,
gets
that's
mad.
what was happening with her in the bachelorette party. So she's like, fuck it.
But
Booked it.
like Damian, like my husband, he is the same way. Like
Yes,
he wants
he
to
is.
take. He's like, come on, guys, let's go to Vegas or let's do this, and it's the same thing. And he's kind of
And
like,
it's like, oh,
he's
but
like,
this,
you know
but
what?
that.
Like, I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And it's crazy because when we were dating, he was so different, and I think like both of us kind of like helped develop each other, But
Yeah.
but with Jesus, like his mother always told me he always wanted to travel, but it's like he found his counterpart that like helped him get there.
Right,
Type of thing.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see that. Like she's like up here and he's like down here. So
She's chill,
they
and I'm like
level-
this.
They level each
Yeah.
other out.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
me and Leslie.
Oh, 100.
Yeah,
You and
just like
Leslie.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no other way. You can't have two people. When have you ever seen like two non-energetic people, eating a salad, at a restaurant together? Like, yeah, this is good. No, there's always
It fucking
you know,
happens.
there's
That's
always,
why the divorce rate's so high.
no, man. You know what? Let me touch on that real quick. Now that you brought it up. No, I'm sorry. I have to bring it up because I literally just seen an article today,
Oh,
right?
you did?
Yeah,
What's this?
and no. It baffles the shit out of me, man, that Latinos were always considered like, we are one of the most family tight knit communities, right? And that's been getting destroyed hard as shit, man. Because I'm telling you, man, I'm seeing it firsthand, dude. And I think it's the culture here in the United States
Yeah.
that it's always been so like, oh, it doesn't work, divorce. You know what I'm saying? I'm still,
Yeah.
I still I'd seen this one meme, right? Where it was like, oh, it's better that your kids grow up, with their parents being divorced than, them growing up in a house where they watch, two people argue all the time. And it's like, did the option, both of you taking fucking therapy and not arguing in front of the kids come up? Or was it quitting was the first fucking thing? Like, I'm not a quitter, man. I really don't like that shit. And half of the time, dude, it's over trivial bullshit, man.
It is.
People are expecting marriage to be like no arguments all the time. You
need it. But you need it to grow.
Yeah, man.
You need that.
Yeah, you do grow patience. You do grow, admiration for the things that you probably found annoying before, And a lot of people don't realize that. It's people being naive and just saying, well, it's a thing. You could quit. Fuck it. It's easy to quit. It's not so easy to work shit out, and people always want the easy way out, man.
I agree with
and
you,
yeah, and that whole divorce shit, man, I in my opinion, dude, I think it's complete bullshit. I am a divorcee, if that's what, the term. I am in my second marriage, but Lord is my witness, I did everything to not let it go down that route. I tried. Let's go. And sometimes the other person doesn't want to, know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where I think it's bullshit, because there's absolutely nothing that will ever repair your kids from coming from a divorced home. And I'm telling you firsthand, because I saw the effects it had on my kids. I was lucky Leslie came to my life and treated my kids like mom. Not like stepmom, like mom,
Yeah.
That's so
that's
good.
rare.
It's
That's
rare.
rare.
And that's great that you found someone to do that, because it is so rare.
It's extremely rare.
Yeah.
I knew I was lucky. I was
Yeah.
extremely rare. The moment that I saw her put them as a priority before herself, man, get the fuck out of here. There's not a lot of humans like that anymore.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking about somebody who, and like, she was young when we got together, really don't give a fuck. We were happy. I really loved her. She loved me, and for somebody to come into my life to at that moment love my kids and want to be there for them more than their biological mom at a young, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a no fucking brainer. You know what I'm saying? And nah, man, I mean, we've had our tough times and we still do, you know what I'm saying? But one of the main things is that at the end of it, no matter how fucking far or bad it goes, we're always like, holy shit, like,
Yeah.
we're so glad we worked this out, because we're breathing down each other's necks so much,
Yeah.
But over time she realizes that there's my patience is extremely different than when I was 19, in my 20s. I used to be a fucking ticking time bomb, man. And now I'm a lot more calm, and than I used to be. But people change, and I'm expecting her to change, but people don't do that anymore, man. They just want to jump straight to the fucking divorce, man. And I see so many Latin women commenting on memes like that, like, yup, that's true. That it's like, no, it's not true, man. Get your shit fucking together, man. Like, you're gonna put the kid through something before you put yourself through something? That's really fucked up, man. It really is, man. I think it's just an easy exit, man. It's an easy exit. And I've talked to my dad about shit like that. That's another thing that, like, we disagree on, He sees it in the way that other people do, and I see it differently, man. But once again, it's all perspective,
It is
all
perspective.
It's all perspective,
Yeah.
man. And like, for anybody who's watching, this is my opinion. If you have a different opinion, I totally respect it. I totally respect it. We wouldn't have a society without different people having different opinions. And it's like I told you the last time you were here. I've had my opinions changed on a lot of major shit. Like, a lot, man. You know? But man, it really is crazy, man. The divorce rate is that fucking high. It's extremely high, scary high.
I think the issue with the divorce rate also is that people get married too quick. Like, you don't even know who you're marrying.
Well, that's the thing, man. We're all guilty of that, though.
I mean,
you know, you don't know who you're marrying because people aren't honest with themselves from the jump, and including ourselves. Like, come on, let's be real. We've all been guilty of that, where we find somebody who we find extremely attractive, you know, be it you know, physically or mentally or everything. You know, we lie in order to be able to catch that. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a hunting instinct. You do whatever it takes to get that catch, instead of being like
yourself.
You know what? This person, you know, they I don't know if I'd be good for them. They deserve better. You know what I'm saying? You know, the moment we become honest and we're like, man, this girl's really pretty, you know, she's really smart, she's really this, but I don't really got my shit together. Yeah, she's into me, but you know what? This girl deserves better. You know? People don't do that.
Yeah, if people,
they're like, fuck
they
it.
don't self-check.
Yes.
And you know, and we talked about that. Like, Cyndy, from the very beginnings, I've been with my husband, was it 6-7 years before we got married. We got married in September of last year, and he was there from me finishing college, and then we lived together. He was there for my master's program until I got a good job, and he was there for these big milestones. And, you know, and I kept, you know, everyone's like, when are you guys going to get married? I'm just like, you know, I appreciate that he is letting me fulfill the things in my life.
Right.
And he's my biggest cheerleader, like, in the background.
Right.
And he's so supportive, and he helps me. He helps me stay up. He's helped me with papers.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, this guy, he probably didn't even know what he's writing about. He's still helping me.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. That's what's up. He's your pillar, man.
He is
legitimately
everything.
Your fucking pillar. See, and that's one of the things, man. If you see a man or a woman, anybody listening, and somebody who you're with positions themselves to detain you like that, you know, as a pillar, they're putting themselves, because I mean, he could put anybody who does that for somebody puts themselves at risk, right?
Oh, big time.
You know for a fact that if you do that for somebody, you're like, you know, I'm willing to be there for them and be this much of a support. You're putting yourself at risk that if shit doesn't go good, you're gonna be extremely hurt.
Yeah.
But you're willing to risk all of that, your comfort, you know, your mental health, even for whatever period of time it may take to, you know, to get past that. You put a lot of yourself into that stuff, man. And I respect people who do that, man. I really do, man. Like, you know, I had so much respect for people who overall came in as a step parent and did the best that they could, and I was like, man, that's really cool, right? And now my younger brother is doing the exact same thing. You know, he's in a relationship with somebody who, you know, has kids from a previous relationship. And I see my brother doing the exact same thing, where it's like, he's coming in, he's loving the kid, you know? And I'm like, dude, that's fucking awesome, you know? You know, I don't know if maybe a part of that as well, you know, because he's always been a good guy, you know, he's right behind me producing the show. But you know, he's always been a great guy. But I also feel that in a way, him seeing what his nephews, you know, my kids went through, I think that in a way kind of put him in a place where it's like, yep, seeing what that did to my nephew, seeing what that did to my brother, I'm gonna step up and do, you know, all that I can.
Yeah.
And man, you know, I have so much respect for people who could do something like that, man.
Right.
Because there's people out there who will, you know, give birth to this, you know, to the child, and it's like they kill it. They, you know, they put it up for. I understand that there's reasons to put up kids for adoptions. I don't think that I'm against that or anything, but like there are people who do it for the reason that, you know,
for the selfish reason.
Yeah, man. And you know,
we were just talking about that too. I mean, like, Cyndy, I gotta say, like, Cyndy is really supportive in a lot of things when it comes to relationships. I mean, she's like, you know, do what makes you happy, but from like a good standpoint. Same thing, like, and like you revert a lot from your parents, because your parents, and you know, you told me so, like, your parents really like have a great like work, you know, they work through their marriage.
Yeah, they
and are your parents they've been together for how long? Is that their first marriage, or?
I mean, no, my mom was 17 when they met. How old was my dad? Like 22.
But they've been together the whole time.
The whole time, not the whole time. They were actually, there was a rough period of time where they were apart for a little while, but it was only a couple months, I think.
Okay.
But it it took a lot of, like, my mom was young. She had me, like, literally 2 days shy of turning 18.
Okay.
So she was like, you know, this is me now. I'm a mother. And, like, my dad took a little more time. He needed a little more time to grow up. And, like, it was a rough first few years of their marriage. And I witnessed that firsthand. I felt the tension in the house. I saw things. I'm going to cry. Oh, my God. Why am I
No, you're okay.
It's hard, dude. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard
but
shit, man.
I saw the tension in the house, you know, and I felt it. And, wow, I'm really going to cry. Okay. So, there was a time where my dad was not around, and it was only for a little while. It wasn't long enough for me to really, like, to affect me emotionally, and maybe it did a little bit.
And you don't even know about it.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and that happens too, man.
Sometimes I yell at him in a way that he probably doesn't even deserve, and maybe that's kind of some resentment from back then. I don't honestly know.
Dude, things like that damage us in ways that are visible and even ways that aren't visible to ourselves, man.
Exactly. Like, that's something I've been trying to figure out. But, like, when he came back, when they came back, they came back strong. And they've been inseparable ever since. Like, oh my God, it is. My parents are gross.
Yeah,
like,
they are too. But it's cute. It's cute because they're all like touchy. They're all like, you know. I mean, that's how me and Jesus are. Me and my husband.
A lot of PDA.
I mean, like, I'll be grocery shopping and I touch his butt. I grab it.
She does.
And then
she
he's
that.
like,
and my dad is the same way with my mom. Like they're very much in love, and I think it's gross. Everyone loves it though. Like, everyone.
I think it's
like,
cute.
Oh
I love
God,
seeing her
your
parents.
are so
yeah,
cute.
and see, that's
like,
the thing. That they went to a point where their relationship was hella tested, right?
Yeah.
Hella tested, right?
Yeah, and my mom was the one that was like, listen, you can stay or you can go, but my kids come first.
Right.
And he literally figured that out, and he came home. Like, it was, you know, let's get back into it, you know? And they've been gross ever since.
I think I love her parents. When we come over, it's like I'm like part of their family. And it's like same thing. They share their drinks, their food, and I literally it can be hours, and we're just talking. They're talking to me and my husband, and it's so late. It doesn't even feel like it. It's amazing. I love her parents. They're great.
Everyone
awesome.
loves my parents.
Yeah.
Have they always been like that, or did they not like your friends when you were younger? Because I know in a lot of Latin, I know that in a lot of Latin homes, your parents absolutely hate everyone who you hang out with, right?
Oh my God.
But there's a moment where you hit this certain age of adulthood where eventually they're like, oh, I love this person. It's like, dude, you used to talk mad shit about bro.
Yes.
So, like, growing up, we had this friend. We were like a trio, the three of us, and she came from a more difficult home, and, like, my mom didn't like her. And
my mom didn't like her either.
But, like, my mom tried to say it's not her that we don't like, it's her environment, where she comes from, and the values that she's been taught.
Oh,
you know,
fucked up.
You know, like, my mom didn't want us around that, and like her mom was the same.
But they're open. Our parents were open to like let us go and like
she can
hang
come
out.
like she can come over. We can take you somewhere. We'll supervise whatever.
Yeah.
But we don't want you going over there to
my
her
mom
place.
was never cool.
Well,
with
my
me
mom
going
let
over
me
there.
go over and
She
sleep
let
over.
me go. My mom never let me sleep over ever. My mom noticed something that she really didn't like, and she was like, "No, you're not staying the night."
No, yeah, and that happens. Yeah.
And my mom was right. She was correct. But like, I never got to stay the night at her house growing up, and like, you know, she was always staying with us, and she wanted me to stay with her. And the thing, it was fucked up. She was like a block and a half away from me. Like, she was literally right around the corner.
Yeah, she lived really close.
You were in the yards.
I live in I used to live in back of the yards.
Yeah, and you would go all the way
too.
to West Elgin.
No way.
Me too.
From the
Where?
yards?
Yeah, me too.
I used to
You
live
never
on
told me you were
47th and Loomis.
I don't know the exact street.
It was like Hamlin High School, elementary school, like right behind it.
Man, I all I remember was that there was like a splash park right down the street from us. Yeah. And there was like a little corner store, like kind of like...
We had a corner store too.
Yeah, it was weird, man. I really don't remember specifically, but that was definitely... When we first got here from Mexico, that's where we lived.
That's crazy. If we probably like crossed paths or
probably.
Our family. Because
Probably.
my mom's side has like lived there for years. Lived there for years.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. How old are you?
I'm 28.
28.
Cyndy, yeah.
Okay, I'm 29.
Okay.
So it might have happened. I remember like there was like down the street I used to get taken care of by this lady whose daughter had gone through this like tragic fire.
What's her name? Tanya?
I don't know,
I
man.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'm just like going.
She's
I'm like,
I got names.
Yeah, I don't
She's
know.
talking
I
to-
got receipts. Hold
Yeah,
on.
I have no clue, but that's actually where we witnessed people like shooting down the
yeah,
street.
that's happened. Or
And
you
I
have to
was-
lay low because you're
Yeah.
in that night.
Yo,
Yeah.
my parents were like, "What the fuck?"
Yep.
And we didn't stay there long after that.
You
My-
didn't? That was
hell
like
no.
daily life?
No, we left too eventually, like
Yeah,
you
Hell
know,
no.
getting to junior high. So yeah.
My mom and dad were hustling. They were like, "Fuck this, we're out."
Did you go
And-
to that laundromat? There's one like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, hang on. It's like
Stop.
Felix or something like that, or I can't even remember.
I forgot the name of it, but
no,
there was a lot.
the guy who worked there. I think no, that was our neighbor's name. I'm sorry, I mixed something up. My bad. No, there was a laundromat, and they used to do raffles, right? And they used to play movies and have.
Yeah,
like,
they used to play movies.
yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. And
Yeah.
then I stepped it up and I was like, we're gonna get a little bougie. We're gonna do a bubble land. You know what I'm saying?
Holy shit! Yeah.
Oh,
I remember. They used to like raffle off bikes, and all kinds of shit there at that
That's wild.
laundromat. Like they did a lot. They did a lot of
It was
shit.
for the kids. You know, it's for the kids.
Yeah. Fuck, man, that's crazy. Yeah, but I lived there, and then my parents were like, "No, fuck this," and they took us straight to Downers Grove. We went from the
Wow.
city to Downers
You went
Grove.
from like 8 to like freaking
Yeah.
almost Z.
0 to 100.
Yeah.
That's what they did.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. I was like, yeah,
Wow.
and then after that, I was like, we were so young, we didn't realize, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just like, oh yeah, these two fucking bald ass Mexican dudes with shags are chasing each other, shooting each other.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, whatever, you know.
Common.
Yeah, and then you go to the suburbs, and within like 2 months, if you ever go back to Chicago to even eat tacos at Los Comales, you're like, oh, what the fuck is this, you know?
Not me. I was never like
I-
that. I
Dude,
don't
fuck
know.
that, man.
I wanted to come back.
You
want to
talk about bougie shit? I guess that's me, man. I don't know. I like shit like that. I don't like shit like that whatsoever, man.
When we first moved to Bolingbrook from Chicago, well,
Yeah.
I'm from West Elgin. That's like 2 minutes away from Midway Airport. I couldn't sleep for like 4 months because I was used to the noise in the airplane.
I hear that shit a lot, man. Yeah,
it
I
was
hear
hard.
that a lot.
I
hear that a
was
lot.
actually really creeped out, and I had a crippling fear of the dark, and I was not okay.
Holy shit.
It took a while. It took a while for me to be okay.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that I always wanted to do. I mean, that's such a fucking fantasy, right? Live in the city, you're young,
It's
and
expensive.
you know.
It is
That's-
expensive.
Low key though, and this is something that I've like, because I've had conversations with Leslie before where she's like, you know, if you didn't have kids, where do you think you would be, right?
Ooh, I like these conversations.
You know, well, had I survived, had I survived long enough, now I would have fucking been able to live in the city and live a really good ass life, dude. Like honestly,
The condo? Do you
yeah, definitely,
Dang.
but definitely, man, 100%. Because for one, the only reason we moved down here, just as an FYI, was because of the fact that Leslie was super young, had no credit, and we needed to go somewhere where it was chill.
Yeah.
And around here, we're like by Bears training camp. It's Bourbonnais, dude. It's very far from everything, but it's chill. We're probably like the only Mexicans on the block, you know. But it's good to be light skinned so nobody knows. Our neighbor did fucking. It's like, oh, there's not a lot of landscapers around here, not knowing that we were Latino, right? This is
my
yeah.
word.
And so he's like meeting us. He's like, yeah, don't worry. There's not a lot of landscapers around here. I was like, what do you mean? You know? And he's like, you know, landscapers.
Are you
Dang.
fucking
Swear to God,
kidding
swear to
me?
God, right? Hang
Dang.
Lupe, what the fuck?
Hang on,
is
hang on.
this?
So Leslie and me lock eyes, right? We're like,
That's how I would do.
Yes.
and we're
I've
like,
never
oh,
heard that
okay.
one.
He leaves, right? And I tell Leslie, I'm like, holy fuck. And she's like, yeah, holy shit. I don't think he knows we're Latino, right? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. Do we tell him we're Latino or do we not tell him shit, right? So we didn't tell him shit the first time, right? Then after that, you know, I forgot what we were having a conversation out here. And I saw him kind of tilting the conversation towards that direction again.
Why do they do
Like
that?
I think a black guy had like driven by with his family. Which keep in mind, this neighborhood is so like chill that like, you know, everybody's basically whitewashed. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like some black lady and some black dude are like driving by with their kids, hella chill. Everybody waves, right?
Right.
And this dude says, it's getting a little dark here.
What the
Right?
actual fuck, dude?
Hang on. So that's when I tell him, I'm like, oh, you know, man, I don't remember specifically how it went, but that's basically when me and Leslie broke the veil. And I was like, oh, yeah, you know, my dad lives in Plainfield, you know, blah, 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 this and that. And I was trying to change the conversation, but eventually I was like, yeah, you know, she's Cuban and Mexican. And I'm like, and I'm 100% Mexican.
So,
and he's like, you guys are?
So how
And
about that?
He moved away already.
Bye, bitch.
No, he did
I
not.
Bye, bitch.
Yeah.
Wow, you for real?
I swear to God. I swear to God.
Holy
Like,
Can you
God.
imagine?
I'm like mind blown that like you're like he moved away. I was like,
after
what?
after that, we didn't see him that often. I guess he didn't like her kind.
Unbelievable.
But other than that, it's
The
not
flight,
like
the flight.
other than that, it is not like that.
No,
but it is
no.
very white out here because like my my wife's brother will come out here. He's like, dude, are you guys like? I feel like I'm the only brown guy in this Walmart. We're like, you probably are, and you're scaring them.
That
I
happened
went to go get
St.
gas.
Louis or St. Louis.
St. Louis.
That happened to us. Oh yeah, for fun one year for my 20-something birthday. We were like, let's go to St. Louis for like Mardi Gras, like a Mardi Gras thing. And one of our friends' their truck stopped
car
working.
broke
Their
down.
car broke down. So when we went to a McDonald's, or no, was it McDonald's? Yeah, it was McDonald's in like the middle of like Southern Illinois.
remember this.
Tell him what happened.
The
dude.
shade
Oh
of
my God.
it all.
Oh,
So like
it was
okay,
awkward.
We took 3 cars.
Yeah.
It was you, me, and Vanessa
Yeah.
in her car. Then it was Daisy and
Lucy.
and
And then all the guys in
her
one car.
And then it was, how many of the dudes were there? 4?
Like 4 of
it
them.
was
Yeah.
like Jesus, Felipe, Edgar. There's
Another dude. I forgot.
some other dude.
Yeah.
Whatever. We're all just brown as hell. We
Right.
pull over. I mean, the guys are mechanics, so they know. They're like, okay.
They pop up the hood. They're looking at it.
This is wrong with it. Let's take it somewhere, get it fixed really quick, and then we'll like reconvene. So we went to McDonald's.
Southern
In
Southern Illinois.
We hadn't even left Illinois yet.
Yeah, it was Southern Illinois.
Can I be real? I think we were in Kankakee County. Anyway.
No way.
No,
We
we
weren't.
weren't.
No, we were
No,
further
we
down.
weren't.
We were
She's-
way further
She was
down.
messing with you.
Yeah.
Messing
hell
with you.
no.
We were way further down.
Yeah, we were like further south.
We were almost to Springfield.
Yeah, we were like getting out. We were like on our way to get out.
We were literally bordering like Missouri.
And we were
almost.
in there, man.
The shade
Everyone
of it all.
looks at us like,
everyone in the McDonald's is
like,
just like
get off my
watching us
property.
and waiting for us to leave. Like nobody's eating comfortably.
Like,
'cause
everyone's
they're
like
waiting
this,
for
like-
us to leave.
like,
Because not only like we're just like a big ass group of paisas eating McDonald's, and we're just like, what's the problem?
and I'm all like just
what's
like
the problem?
chill, like I'm like ordering, and everyone and like the guys look a little nervous. The guys
are nervous.
The guys are nervous. The guys are scared.
Because it's always the guys that get picked on.
And the guys are nervous and scared, and they're like, one of them kind of goes to me and whispers like, oh, like like shouldn't we like get going and stuff? I'm like, I'm sorry, but I'm hungry and I'm gonna eat and I'm just gonna
She's
go.
like, I'm gonna do what the fuck
I
I
wanna
want to do.
And they're like,
and I'm the same way.
And they're
I'm the same way.
nervous. They were nervous. Even our friends were like nervous. And I'm just like going up there.
I
I'm
was like-
ordering, and I was like, come on, let's go, let's order. And they're just so
They're
like,
so uncomfortable.
And I was like,
didn't
why?
care.
Why should we be uncomfortable?
No, I was like, they
no
can
reason.
try. They can try and say something. They can try and kick us out. But it's not gonna happen.
Right,
Like,
right.
it's
You
not
you
gonna
just
happen.
gotta stand your ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm,
And
like,
I-
I'm just here to eat. I'm so hungry. That's
don't
all I want to
care.
do.
But see, it's so rare to find those spots, though. It really is. I mean, you do find them a lot still, but they're going away, I feel like. But it's those towns where it's nothing but white people. They hardly have any interaction with anybody outside of their
color.
color palette, you know. And it's
I should
Excuse
have
us for
broke bread with them.
No.
Like in McDonald's.
low
Why?
key. Low key. That's literally the best way to go about it. I'm not gonna lie to you. Martin Luther King said it, man.
I know,
you know,
but I'm a big ass petty motherfucker.
I could too. Don't get me wrong. I could too, man. And I have those moments where it's like, you're not going to get my reasonable side. You're going to get my unreasonable side, and you're going to eat shit right now. Here I go. And I swear to God, it's been happening this whole... I can't believe I'm about to talk about this, despite Leslie telling me, you've been an asshole. Like, this is the 3rd day you come home, and we've gone out, and you were a dick to somebody. They got my petty side. But I'm not normally like that. But the best way to do it, man, it is to befriend people. Like, especially like in situations like kind of like the one that I'm telling you that happened. If they don't know you're Mexican, let it keep going. Let it keep going until one moment you're gonna see their true intentions, and eventually you can come out and be like, yeah, I'm Mexican. They're gonna be like, what? And luckily, if you gain enough trust and you got enough likability, you just changed another human being's, racist, perception of us.
Because it's your character.
Yeah,
that's all that matters.
Exactly. Sell them.
Yeah.
I am representing a Latino whenever I meet anybody, right? Be the best representation, right? It's like right now, a lot of people talking about like, oh, but we don't want Donald Trump, representing this country. True. Very true. Oh, we don't look what he said about all these other countries that we're shithole countries and blah, blah, blah. That's fucked up. True. There's nothing we can do about that because that's how that man thinks. There's no changing him. There may be a way to change him. It's probably not going to happen. He seems pretty hard at it, right?
Yeah.
What is the one thing we can do to, what's the first call to action that's within our power to actually do? Represent our people in a better way. You know what I'm saying? Like, teach your kids to represent your culture in a better way. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing that is within our fucking power, man. And it's the same thing for white people, man. There is a lot of fucking, backlash that white people have been getting. I think to some extent it is too much, it's borderline racist against white people. That's too much, but same for white people, raise your kids to represent you guys in a different way. Like the day that I went to the hospital recently, that nurse totally fucking told me to my face, holy fuck, I don't want, like, she was so like, man, this is fucked up how difficult it is for people who are immigrants. She's like, I just want you to know that we're not all like that, man. Like, we want people like you here. That is the representation that she gave for, white people, right?
Right.
And that's the only thing we have, man, is let's represent ourselves in a better way. Let's, I always tell people, man, it's like, we're all coexisting, right? It's like having a fucking roommate. You don't want to, you don't want to have a roommate and be blasting fucking, Mamma Mia soundtrack if the other person doesn't like, if she doesn't, if they don't like, that kind of music.
Oh my God.
Same way, like, if that person likes Mamma Mia, you don't want to be in the other room and be fucking blasting Metallica. That's not what they're into, Like, your roommates, you keep it to, respectful levels, right? You respect each other's space, right?
Yeah, big time.
And represent yourself in a way that, you're like, respectful, basically,
Yeah.
And that's why I'm not a big fan of, driving around blasting a fucking system. It's malrepresentation, man. And it's disrespectful to the people around you because we're all coexisting, man. I don't need to hear fucking Tupac, with my windows closed. Bro, like, keep that shit to your... And then it's like, doesn't even sound good. Fucking... like, rattling. You hear every fucking piece to that car rattling. It's like, bro, I don't need to hear that, man. Like, do you not respect anybody else? That's basically the biggest fuck you that you could give absolutely everybody at the same time. It's you and your comfort means shit to me. I want it this loud. That's all that matters to me. It's the biggest asshole move, man. And it's like the moment people respect each other's space, even in situations like that, and represent themselves in a better light, man, I think people would like actually start, being befriended, having their minds changed, like fuck, man, like we just need to learn how to fucking coexist. We're all roommates on this fucking planet, man.
I agree with you. Like when I meet people, like people that I met during my wedding, and we're like the bestest friends now. They heard of me or they knew me by passing, and some of them, and this happens a lot. People when they first meet me, they don't like me, and then when they come over my house, and I was raised when you have someone over, make sure the house is clean, be hospitable, have food ready, see if they want to drink, give them a napkin. So when I have people over, and she knows this, I always offer food all the time.
She really
and if I don't have something, I will go buy something, or I'll just order. I try not to order a lot, but I will make you something right there and then. I'm like, you know what? Hold on, I'll whoop you something up.
Nice.
Just stay there.
She does that.
I do that all the time. I wake up early and be like, hey, I'm making some, papas con huevos, chorizo, whatever. Or if you have a taste for something.
I'm hungry.
And I know, for real, stop playing.
Sorry. So, like, when I have people come over, and I always I love cooking, and she knows I have like a jillion spices in my house. I don't even know what I have
You
sometimes.
should have seen her like in the Seattle food tour. She's like, this would be good with this, and this, and then next up, this would be good with this.
You're
this,
like,
and
I have
this.
so many spices in my cabinet.
And I'm just sitting there
Christopher
like-
Columbus would have robbed me.
Oh
No, I mean
100.
but like a lot of people know, like even back then, like salt and spices were a hot commodity.
Yeah.
And that's what enriches your food. Quality over quantity, and that's something I taught my husband too, because I love him, but I was like, what kind of palate do you got? Like, do you even know what else is out there in the world? You gotta try this.
God.
He didn't have pie. I'm gonna tell you something. He did not have pie until we first started dating in our 20s. So he went like 20-something years without ever eating freaking pie.
Poor
Blew my
bastard.
damn mind. Blew
Man,
my mind.
It happens, dude. It happens.
Blew my freaking mind. But like she knows, when people don't know me, I have them over, and that was just how I raised. And everyone's like, sit down and eat with us. I'm just like, I don't feel comfortable until you guys eat first, and that's just how I am.
Dude, but that's a fucking Latino thing, dude. That's why people. That's one of the things people love about us, bro. Like, come on. We throw barbecues at a park, let's say, or at the beach.
Even right now.
And a white family could walk past a black family if they say, "Come over."
Eat.
That smells good. You want a taco?
You want
This is
some?
my dad.
You know
My
what I'm
dad
saying?
be
Right,
doing that.
even right now, my husband, they're having a black party. She pulled up.
Yeah.
There's a huge black party. Everyone's cooking. If you don't know each other, and they're probably passing like, hey, are you hungry? We just offer. And they're, enjoy, indulge,
Right.
taste this.
Yeah, but it's like try walking past, a white guy's picnic and being like,
Oh,
"Oh,
that's
that
not
smells that smells good."
Yeah, it is
They'd
good.
be like, "Hide the fucking food.
Be like, just close the grill. Close the grill.
Close it up."
Don't look at him. Don't look
I'm
at
saying,
him.
don't look at him. Don't make
Don't
eye
look at him.
contact. Don't make eye contact. Nah, man, it's crazy. No, I mean, I'm pretty sure that don't take it too seriously, folks. Like, I'm pretty sure there's some white
It's
people out
a
there who would be
joke.
more than happy to make me a fucking bologna sandwich. Relax.
Oh
You
no.
know? No, I'm being serious but jokeful. I'm being serious but jokeful. But no, I mean, no. But what I'm trying to say is that as Latinos, we are very like, oh, come eat. Oh, that smells good. Oh, we'll come have some.
And you make a lot, like, and she knows this too, and I hate it because just the way I grew up, but I make everything, like, family style. Like, I'll make so much. I'm like, dang, I made a lot. I guess leftovers, but, like, I'm just so used to, like, hey, if someone comes over, or, like, an aunt that you haven't seen, or they've been busy, they just kind of stop by the house, like, hey, there's food, just, heat it up, or just whatever. There's always going to be food. Granted, like, we grew up rough, but there's always food on the table.
There's always enough to share.
There's always enough.
Yeah. I
Always
agree.
enough.
I agree.
There's
Man.
always plenty. Yeah.
See, man, that's really kind-hearted, dude. That's fucking awesome, dude. That really is, man. That really is, dude.
She really is like that.
And
Sometimes
what's
I
what's
tell her.
what's the best dish that you think you make?
Oh,
Let's
man.
let's see if
Okay.
anybody who ends up listening to this or is
God.
watching live.
Everyone knows. 'cause-
Party at Lupe.
I know they know because even at my old apartment, I would host ugly Christmas sweater parties, and I'll cook. I mean, big fundraisers. Me or my mom will cook. Everyone just puts
Birthday
in
parties.
Everyone. I gotta
I'm
say, during the
hungry.
season, during the fall, I make this chili, and there's this chili.
I only
There's
have had
chili, and then there's this pulled pork I make. And the pulled pork takes me like 2 days. I have to, prepare it. I have to
Yeah,
like marinate
marinate
it,
it.
whatever. It takes and I have to heat it for like 15 hours or something. But it's worth it. It's 100% worth it. And it's crazy because then it takes like 2 minutes to eat when I give it out, but it takes forever to cook. That and the chili, and that one takes me a while too. I have to prepare it like early on. But when I make that, like to make it, my husband like tries to make like sloppy joes out of it, and he's just like, I don't
Nice.
care, give me the
Nice.
bread, give me the crackers, and he just eats it, or he just eats. He can eat like the whole thing, or even our friends, I'll have enough, and they're just like, whatever, man.
Yeah, fuck it, man. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
So that's your number one dish.
I
In
mean,
the fall.
Oh,
In the fall.
In the fall, yeah. But I mean, there's always like a
Like-
salad. A salad I always make. It's like I call it like I call it the garbage salad, but it's not a garbage salad.
No. Yeah, like Portillo's has garbage
Yeah,
salad.
so
Yeah.
it's like that. So, but like that one takes me a while too, because I have to get like like the ham,
All the-
certain apples. I have to get Honeycrisp apples. I have to get like raw walnuts. I have to get. It has to be poppy seed dressing. Like it has to be specific things.
She's very specific.
I'm very specific about my ingredients.
When it comes to food,
when you
man.
ask my husband, you can ask anyone about the spices, about the brand. I am so picky, and so is my husband, because his special dish is the meatballs.
Oh man, that shit is fire.
And he makes it once a year, and
Shit
people
is
ask for
Like
it.
Italian
It's
meatballs or
fire.
Mexican meatballs?
It's
No,
Italian
it's
meatballs,
Italian meatballs.
and it's
It's fucking fire.
it's amazing.
really good.
People have asked me for his recipe, and he's like, "Don't you dare!
Nice.
Don't you
Hell yeah.
dare!"
Hell yeah.
He doesn't. He'll take it to the grave with him. He won't even tell people where he gets his meat from, because
Oh
it's
my
a
God.
secret place. I
I
know
can't.
it's not like the dumpster, nothing like that. It's a secret place, and he was like, "Don't you even tell them where we go."
You know what? I give props to people who could hold the fucking secret on a
Oh.
recipe.
So
I give I don't like it.
I
But
don't like it.
I don't like it.
'Cause
But I
you
give
wanna
those,
make that dish.
I give those people props because I can't keep my fucking mouth shut when it comes. Like if I figure out how to make like a really good dish, like immediately I'm like, let me tell you how to make it. This is how you
Yeah.
do it. Do it next time you do. Do you have this at home? Yeah. Oh, you could make it. You
Yeah.
know, I'm totally like that. So for somebody who could actually keep a secret, man, props.
That's him, man.
Could never do
and
it.
he looked at me. He's like, "Don't you even give me
You'll-
like a
they'll
hint."
they'll put like a Facebook invite, be like, we're having this party. Jesus is making the meatballs.
And everyone talks about it.
He's like, you don't tell nobody. I will
RCP,
handle the jail
RCP.
time.
He only makes it once a year too.
He
'cause-
does.
And everyone will ask him throughout the year. So when are you gonna make up again? He's like, once a year, man. Once
Oh,
a year.
nice.
He's
You know
just
what's
like that
fucked
too.
up?
Once
I've
a year.
only had those meatballs once, and that was maybe 3 years ago, and I still think
People
about
still talk.
them.
People still talk about
They're
those
so
meatballs.
Damn, that's
good.
crazy.
They're so good.
Everybody's got that one dish, man. Especially guys, we have that one dish.
That's his
My
one
God.
dish.
Well, that's the funny thing. We were just on the, I believe it was the last episode. We were talking about like my dad's ceviche, and
Oh,
I'm over here,
ceviche.
trying to get
Delicious.
our friend in common, to come
Oh,
in. And
yeah,
she's
yeah.
like, I'll do it for some ceviche if there's some ceviche there. I'm
Dang.
like,
Wait, she said that? I'll do it for ceviche?
yeah.
Oh,
It's like
so
my
good.
mom's lasagna. My mom, everyone knows her.
Yeah.
For every function, every party that any of my sisters have, any fundraiser, she makes
lasagna.
She makes like a veggie one and a meat one, and then I don't know. People there's actually one time so a couple of people have bought just her lasagna, like a whole lasagna. They're like, here's the money. Can I just buy your lasagna? And her pineapple upside down cake.
Ooh.
The shit's
She's the bomb. I brought it to an
Nice.
eighth grade fundraiser thing.
Uh-huh.
One lady bought the whole thing,
It's
Fuck yeah.
yummy, man.
and I didn't even know. I just
That was me dressed as a lady.
But she makes hands down, and I need to get her. She always tells me, she's like, just come over and I'll show you how to make it, mija. And I'm just like, I gotta go over because her pineapple upside down cake is like the best. I mean, because it's not too sugary. It's just perfect. It's like literally perfect.
Oh man.
You know? I don't know. I gotta get that
Yeah.
recipe for her.
I
Man,
think-
what is wrong with you? Did you just come over here to fucking get
Make
everybody
us hungry as
hungry?
hell.
I thought this was a food travel podcast.
Oh no, it's a little bit about everything,
It's
but
a
we do
little
talk
bit-
about.
We love
yeah.
to talk about food, though.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell you, man.
for real.
I talk about food like, and I like, it's like sometimes I feel like I eat food like I'm making love because I love food.
You should have seen her
So-
eat the bacon in Seattle.
Oh my god, I was like
dude.
this like.
Hang on, before I forget, you guys said that there was like a Seattle dog, and I saw the photo.
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that
Damn.
shit was fire.
They have
Oh
their
my God.
own
Yeah,
own thing.
like how we have the Chicago style hot dog.
Theirs
They
is
have their
different.
own thing. They have their own
it has
thing.
cream cheese in it, and
It's
it has
grilled onions, and I believe it was red
purple-
cabbage.
red or purple
Oh.
cabbage. It was different. It was so different.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It
Man,
was good.
it was
man.
so good. It was
And
different.
like we were just like fresh off of that food tasting tour, and we'd been walking, so we were hungry again, and we got one hot dog. Regrets, man. We should have gotten one.
oh
each.
man.
No,
Oh.
we like
It was we split it.
yeah, we split it, and I was just like, damn, that was so good.
It was really good.
Damn. Well, I
And
definitely
it
got.
was fresh and it was hot.
Dude,
man,
I
it was
definitely
good.
gotta take a trip to Seattle
Yeah.
one
I
day.
know
next
You
week,
do.
but-
You
You
know
know
what's
why?
funny? Yeah.
Because everything was like what? Like it was like explosions, man.
It was an emotional trip for us, and I feel
Yeah,
like
it was.
I feel like the trips that are most emotional for me are the ones I take with her, because we go to places that we've always dreamed of going.
Yes, like we like
Yeah.
when you know like you have like that big dream like when you're a kid like when you see something like I'm gonna go there one day.
Yeah.
Or like even for me like when I was in Italy with my husband we were in Rome but I wanted to go to Florence to see the Michelangelo Davis, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because growing up I'm like I want to like go there and see that because like I always saw that like growing up or people talked about it. I want to
Yeah,
go
yeah.
to the museum and then when I went there like I got like out like oh
You
my
get
god I can't believe,
emotional.
You're
I can't
here.
believe I'm
You're
freaking
fucking here.
Yeah.
Blew my
Yeah.
mind.
It's
Blew
like
my-
that meme where it's like when you're drunk and you go to the bathroom, it's like I'm in this bitch. That's the exact same feeling. Like, damn, I'm in this bitch right
Like,
now.
It doesn't even feel
here.
real. You're just
It
like
doesn't feel
wow.
For real, yeah, out of body.
Yeah, I felt that way in New York.
The Empire State Building.
The Empire State Building.
The needle, Space Needle.
The Space
like,
Needle.
every random shit.
She painted my ass at the Space Needle.
Okay, I was freaking out.
Does that restaurant actually spin?
Yeah. Okay.
They closed the restaurant, actually.
Yeah, they did, but it does revolve.
It does revolve
around, and
it's
trippy. And I was like, girl, I'm not gonna die.
You know what's funny is that like she was freaking out about the slanted glass, and I'm like, are you kidding me? We're from Chicago.
No, I've never gone. I don't care.
She's
don't
never
care.
been to Sears Tower. Like, not
I've
when
been
they
to
put that glass ledge.
I've seen it. I've been up there when it's. I've never gone there. I was like, no.
The Hancock building now has that tilt thing, which is very similar to the Space Needle. So she's freaking out, and she's like, hold my hand. I was like, we were at the top of the Empire State Building. Why are you freaking out right now?
Because, man,
the Empire State Building is like.
I've been on top of the Eiffel Tower before.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like cage. It's like I feel safe. That I'm just like, bro, it's glass, man. I don't know.
I wouldn't have felt safe at that.
You're like, I like adventure, but I don't know.
So
I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
Heights are her limit. She'll get in a random car, but heights are her limit.
Oh yeah, when we went to Bruce Lee's.
We went to Bruce Lee's grave. And this is not the first time it's happened. But, like, this time I allowed it to happen. We went to the cemetery. It's next to Volunteer Park in Seattle. I forgot the name of the actual cemetery, but it's right next to Volunteer Park. And we were walking because we went to Volunteer Park first to see the art installation Black Sun, because that's what inspired Chris Cornell to write Black Hole Sun.
Oh, I seen that. Yeah.
So for us, that was emotional. That was a big deal for us because we love music.
It was beautiful too.
It was beautiful. Yeah. You can see the space needle right in the center.
Yeah, in there.
So, but we had to walk around and outside, and then we were like, no, we were not walking safely. So then we turned into the driveway to get up to into the cemetery. This like red, was it a Cherokee? I don't know. Pulled over, and then out comes out this like little tiny like
so tiny, like tinier than Cyndy, like,
she's like
short,
skinny, white hair. She's an Asian woman. She was like, kind of new age hippie type, and she's like, you guys going to Bruce Lee's grave?
And we're like, I was like, yeah.
So yeah, she's like, I'll give you a ride.
And I was like,
and I'm like, nah.
And I look at Cyndy like, and then she's like, and she's like, and I'm like, and then she's like,
I was like, and then she's like, okay, and I'm like, this fucking bitch is gonna get me killed. Like,
she seemed harmless.
She was harmless.
You guys are gonna end up on the next episode of Sword and Scale.
No, Dateline.
It was at that moment.
2020. I sized up this lady before I even got in her car, and I was like, I can take her. And I was like, I really can't take her if she's the one driving. So like, I didn't even fully sit in the car.
She was like ready to roll out.
I seriously I had like my whole like one butt cheek on the chair.
If something bad happened.
And then I was like ready. I had my whole weight on the door of the car.
You was ready to slide out.
I was ready to roll out of the car. I was like, you try anything on me, I will roll out of this car. And like, she ended up being a really sweet lady, but like, she's the one that's like, oh, let's just get in this car. I'm like, nah. That's how you get murdered.
She seemed harmless.
She
even gave us flowers to like leave at the grave.
You know who else?
I tried to give her money. She wouldn't take it. She's like, nah, Seattle people,
she was
really cool like that.
Later that day, you guys were watching the TV. It turns out that lady died 3 years ago.
Oh my God!
You got a ride from a ghost.
Resurrection Mary shit.
Oh my God! I believe in that stuff. No, even.
I was like, we're gonna get murdered, and whatever. Honestly, you know who else seemed harmless? Ted fucking Bundy. So
that is true. I actually wrote a report about him.
The amount of people that rallied around that sick fuck, and
Jesus.
he was a bastard. Okay, so it is.
At the end of the day, yeah, he was a pretty sick bastard.
But yeah, she's the one. Then we'll get into a random ass car.
Hey, I can sense. I have a sixth sense, man. Like, I feel like
I do too. I'm a pretty good judge of character, but I feel like she's a little more open and vulnerable.
I'm a little bit more like
she's a little more.
Love,
she's also a little more gullible.
Yeah.
So I'm not. I've always got a chip on my shoulder. I'm always ready. I'm always alert.
I'm just very like, and my husband, he knows I am this way too. He's like, you just feel like there's always like everyone's all good in the world.
And he's like,
he's like, there's bad people, and I'm like, I know there is.
She's always trying to see
the better,
the good in
and
people.
And because I truly believe in that. I do.
Yeah, but you also have you gotta be careful.
Protect yourself.
I know.
You gotta be careful,
yourself.
Especially nowadays, man.
Yep.
Especially nowadays, man. I mean, but who am I to talk? I fucking invited you to the middle of
You
nowhere
know-
to come do a podcast.
Yeah, I don't even
Here
know
we
you.
are.
Would you have done it if I didn't know him or the podcast? Would you have come?
Yeah, because I mean, because
Did you just fucking got done describing her down to the T? Would you have come over here? Yeah, she probably would have.
I was like, yeah, but no, but like
She would have hitchhiked all the way over here.
No, like if I had never been on the podcast, if I had never taken their photos.
Yeah, because I trust you. But even
like,
this.
Okay,
she
what
was
if
like, I wasn't. She's like, I don't know if I can make it. Do you feel okay coming by yourself? I was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. I just have like trust.
At first she was a little nervous, but like
At first she was a little.
Well, I was nervous about like what am I gonna talk about?
I was like you just gotta let it fucking happen. I don't know.
Let it flow.
But like no, like if I hadn't told you about it, if he decided nowhere, I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know about the podcast. I'd never heard of it, anything. And this rando is like, hey, you want to come on my podcast? My name is George. You want to come on this podcast at my house? In you know,
like Bumble,
Bumblefuck,
In Bumblebee Tuna Land.
Boo-Foo, Illinois.
Boo-Foo, Illinois.
Would you do it?
I'd have been like, so like, are we gonna get food?
She'd be like, so are you gonna come pick me up, or do I need to find a ride?
Or like,
do you need to call a Lyft?
give you gas money, come get me.
like, how's this gonna be sorted out? I kind of like leverage things. I was like,
She'd probably be like, yeah, maybe let's do it.
Well, I'm glad you came, man. It was really fun talking to you guys, man. We're already at an hour and 41 fucking minutes.
How?
Sorry, it's because I'm cray cray.
No, it's
like,
all right.
Last time I was here, it was a 2-hour episode.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Man, well, it was nice meeting you in person. I know we only texted briefly, here and there, but man, I really do appreciate you coming over here and bringing your stories and overall, bringing your energy and stuff. And thank you for introducing me, and thank you for coming and doing another episode. 1 year, man.
That's
1 year.
crazy.
1
And
year.
And how I've been on 3 times now.
Yeah, man.
This is the 3rd time. And
No, this is your 2nd time.
That's my 3rd.
No, this is your 3rd time. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yeah. This is your 3rd time.
It's my 3rd.
3 times. Yeah, you beat Anthony. Anthony's been on the show twice.
Oh yay!
Yeah.
I'm the most frequented guest.
Yeah.
And then 1 whole episode about Taco Gate. So
There we go. There we go.
I count that as 4. I count that
Oh,
as
man.
4.
Can you kick it in? All right, guys. Well, thank you for everybody who came in and stopped by the live. We appreciate you guys just as much as we appreciate everybody who's going to be listening to this episode when it's published on Spotify, iTunes, Google Play. You can ask your smart speaker. We're basically everywhere. And now we're on YouTube and Twitch at Two Sushi Rolls Podcast. So make sure you guys check us out for the next one. And this was episode 29 with Lupe Signs as well as Miss Cyndy. And no Mama Bear. But we'll see her on the next one. That's all right.
Bye, Leslie.
All right, bye,
Hi,
guys.
Leslie.
All right, bye, everyone. Thank you for coming. See you on the next one.